Coaching for Life webinar. Wade Salem here. Today we want to talk about why coach character is extremely important for us in Coaching for Life, that we're having an impact on our players, that we're developing the person and not just the player. But not just that, we're disconnected from the sport experience, but we're using character to improve our performance and attitude and teamwork of our players, our team. And that character is literally the rock-solid foundation to do just that. So let's jump into this right now. And obviously this is a pretty powerful statement because everything we deal with every day, all the issues, all the crises, all the good things, the bad things, we're really dealing with the character issues. I love the line on the bottom there. Today we hire people for their skills and we fire them for their character. We look at someone's resume, we bring them in, and we think this guy is great, but all of a sudden we put him in our office, and all of a sudden he's a gossiper, his work ethic isn't very good, and all of a sudden, yikes, over time, because of his character, he might be very skilled at a computer, but we have to let him go because he's ruining the environment and atmosphere of our office. We do the same in sports very much. We trust so much in the talent of those around us, of trying to get players with incredible skills, that it might be their attitude, it might be the way they treat their teammates, their opponents, it might be character issues of integrity, courage, commitment, purpose, all kinds of other issues. And if we begin to have a focus that literally everything you're dealing with is a character issue, good or bad. A kid at a free throw line shooting a basketball, if he's not extending to the full technique of the shot and finishing with his follow-through, well, we might just think him and say, hey, follow through, but that's really a perseverance issue. He's not enduring difficult situations to get stronger or finishing the task at hand. Almost every technique that we teach in sports should have a finishing touch to it, whether it's a serve, whether it's a throw, whether it's a block, whether it's a kick, a pass. Everything finishes. And if kids aren't doing that, the character quality behind that is perseverance. And if we as coaches begin to see that, it will make things much different. I could put this slide up in any school in America, a city school, a rural school, a suburban school, and, do we see these in our players? And one of the things that we try to do when we do in our workshops with people is, as you look at this, behind each one of these negative character qualities, what needs to be developed that will eliminate this? So if you have a kid that is lazy and average, what is the character quality needed to eliminate that in their life, that they become a player who is no longer lazy or average? We would suggest effort, industriousness, that if a kid begins to have a work ethic and work harder, he wouldn't be lazy. When it comes to disbelief and I can't, a kid gets in the batter's box, a free throw, a kick, a penalty kick, whatever sport you're coaching, if someone gets in there and they have disbelief or they just, I can't, they're struggling, they're in a slump, they're not making shots, not getting hits, and they have what's the character quality needed? We would say it's believe or faith, that they would have faith before they even step into the batter's box, because if you don't believe you're going to get a hit, when you step in, you're done before the first pitch is even thrown. When you have a kid who quits or inconsistency, you're looking for consistency. If you have selfishness and discord, the ultimate goal of your team is that you have people that love each other, that will sacrifice and commit themselves to others around them to benefit them instead of themselves. So as we look at the list, if you wrote down a list of your players of issues, but this one would just be kind of the negative. What is the stuff then we need to develop to eliminate that list? A couple questions is, is all your players character fit just as much as they are physically fit? And many coaches, we just leave that up to chance and hope we get a good group of kids. I think we've seen that before, where you have certain classes of kids coming in, it's your sophomores or juniors or seniors. It's a great group of kids. And when we have that, it sure is a more enjoyable year of coaching. We're not dealing with all the other stuff that sometimes put so much more on our plate besides just the sport we want to coach and get out and about and do that. But here's a question for us is, are we just as concerned as coaches about the character fitness of our team and our players as we are just the physical fitness? We have them in the weight room, we're conditioning them, we're pushing them. Well, what are we doing on the other side to develop the character and the inside stuff of our players? And this, again, gets down to basically as a coach, what is your bottom line? I mean, is it the scoreboard? Obviously, we live in a performance-oriented culture. We live in the bottom line in sports is winning. The bottom line in business is money. The bottom line in education today is test scores. But is there more? So there's a quote that I read once that real success transcends the bottom line. And is there something bigger? Is there something more than winning? Is there something that drives your passion and purpose as a coach? That you are out there to not just win games, but you prepare and you fight and you compete to win. But beyond that, you have a passion to develop the people that you've been entrusted with and develop the lives around you to have a lasting influence. We believe in coaching for life. That's what we call it, coaching for life, not just the season. And one of the goals here is that as coaches, our main concern and passion is we are here to develop people. I think we have to remember we are in the people business. And I think we can lose at a time where kids can become products instead of people. They become pawns in a system, and pretty soon they're just a certain position instead of somebody under that uniform. Behind that number, there's a heart and there's a person. And are we even concerned? Are we so caught up in the game and the sport that we forget that? You know, one of our favorite words in coaching for life is to develop. And I think if you really were to describe what is coaching, I think coaching is really development. And the definition here is, I think, one of the best ones is to bring out the possibilities of. I don't know if I like the second one there, though, the unfold gradually. One of the keys here is, am I really a patient coach to see the development of my players and my team, to see them grow? We live in a microwave culture and society. We wish things went quicker, but experience and time sometimes are the best teachers. But as a coach, am I committed to develop those around me? Am I committed to see the possibility of what could happen in a kid's life, in my team's life? That we have more chemistry, we have more unselfishness, we have more the stuff we really need to become a better team. Mentally, we're starting to make better decisions, focus, understanding, we're more attentive, we're more coachable, we have more confidence in employees. Physically, we're more consistent, we're more obedient, we're more disciplined, we're more execution. We want a team of excellence, and we're prepared, and we persevere. We show initiative. In our spirit, are we, ones of truth and purpose and obedience? And, are we committed? Do we have humility, courage, integrity? That these are the things I want to develop in my team to impact their lives. And as a coach, what am I developing? One of the keys here is we believe is that this is coaching for life. There's coaching with the end in mind. That you have a kid come in as a freshman, you have a kid stay in your program for 4 years, you have a kid come in this season, and how do we take people who come in our programs and our teams, and that you see them on the left side, and how, through our sport experience, are we part of a process that what is produced, what is developed, and the end product is just a group of people that walk out dedicated and hopeful. A kid used to be frustrated, now it's more controlled. A kid who was disengaged is now selfless. A kid that was dull is a learner. A kid that quits is now finishing it. A kid that was once negative is positive. Someone who was insecure is confident. Someone who was lazy and just kind of lethargic, complacent, now is an energetic, hard-working young person on our team. And to me, this is coaching. To me, this is coaching for life. This is coaching with the end in mind that I have a plan and a purpose and a passion in my coaching to develop this in my players, that I get a group in, and through them coming to our practices, our drills, our schedules, our programs, our work, our togetherness, this is what we produce. And if this is coaching, I'm in. And it's our passion in coaching for life to help coaches make this happen. And give you tools and resources and then training to realize that this is an incredible role and responsibility as a coach to get this done. And then one of the keys, we talked a little bit earlier about this, but there is a character quality behind every skill you're coaching. And I think if we learn to integrate that, connect that, combine that, mix it together, mixing what we call character qualities or CQs with our X's and O's, our coaching takes on a whole new dimension that I am now out there impacting kids' lives, the character of who they are. Are they more in control? Behind every skill we're trying to teach, every day. We talked a little bit earlier about perseverance, or just finishing a technique. We could talk about faithfulness. We could talk about attentiveness. We could talk about knowledge. We could talk about dependability. We could talk about sharing the ball and being unselfish. There's a character quality behind that skill of passing or seeing the floor or rotating to the right spot, showing alertness of where to move in certain situations, demonstrating a character quality behind every skill, showing initiative and not being hesitant to get things done. And once we see this as a coach, I'm telling you, you begin to see practice in developing the skills of your players very differently. You see the inside stuff behind everything you're coaching every single day, which is an added dynamic to your coaching that now you're impacting lives and you're really developing the person to be a better player in the meantime, as you're coaching what you've been doing for the last 5, 10, 15, 20 years. So one of the things that we want to talk about is, as a coach, is, build your team, develop your players, but create a culture where character matters. Are we having relationships with our players and producing people that come out of our program that have the goods, that can move on to the next stage of their life, and not only to the next level of the game, but also in the classroom, in the community, back home, and we're impacting kids' lives, or this is what we do as coaches. We build teams, we develop players, and we've created a culture that character does matter. Really, the question then, as a coach, does character matter to you? And as a coach, we need to do that more and more, be more concerned, more focused, more laser focused on those things. But one of the issues when it comes to this is that, we think that there's been a myth for years that sports develops character, but research shows that it really doesn't. The real issue is a coach develops character. Schools do not develop character, a teacher does. Families don't develop character, a parent does. And when it comes to this, sports does not develop character, a coach does. This is Coach Chase Ariani in the picture here. Southwestern High School in Jamestown, New York, had just won back-to-back state titles 2 years ago. This was their game in Ralph Wilson Stadium where the Bills played. And he has been very intentional in his career there at Jamestown to do a theme of the week, and he's worked with us for the last 6, 7 years. And he has gotten our character quality curriculum where he has a tool and a practical tool to clearly communicate the character needed to improve performance, improve teamwork, improve attitude, improve the character of his team. And it's showing on the field, in the classroom, in the community. And he's a coach that's making a difference. And, as coaches, we can't just trust in the myth that, hey, sports is going to get it done, or assume it's going to happen, because it won't. Statistics will show, and research shows, when you become intentional, that's when character really starts to be developed. When we have a plan, when we start doing something about it, instead of just hoping that hope the season teaches us and things turn out well. So the question is are we proactive to develop character, or do we just react to the issues around us? And, that's the great divide we call in coaching for life, is being intentional to develop character. Not just believe in the importance of character, but now I'm doing something about it. Am I proactive to really develop the character of my team? But I'll be honest with you, what we have found with coaches is most coaches really ask the question, what do I do? They're looking for tools and resources that are already done, that are easy to use, that they can go implement. You don't have a lot of time on your plate. You might read a great book, but then how do I take that book I just read and then try to translate that into communicating with my team in a very simple way where there's practical tools that I can pull out, hangouts, PowerPoints that are already done for me that I can, pass on to my team and communicate clearly what is really needed to be successful on and off the field and court. When you look at character, one interesting word is if you just define it. It means, this changed my mindset on everything. It means to scratch and engrave. Qualities and features that make up and distinguish the individual. Think about that. You could take a ball, a leather ball, football, basketball, and a lot of times you look at those, and those are the brand of the ball is usually branded or engraved on the ball. And if you were to take that and have I could paint a basketball blue and I could still read Wilson or Spalding on it, because you can run your finger over the edges of where the brand name is. It's in the ball. Well, character is scratched and engraved in us through experience, and it creates patterns, and it creates who we are. And you think about this, are we using the opportunity that sports has to scratch and engrave to create the substance that's really needed in our players' lives, that we have the character that's needed to be successful? So the question is what is going to be scratched and engraved in you, your staff, and your season with your players? As you go through seasons, you go through the ups and downs, the wins and losses, the injuries, the trials, the crisis, not very often you get to coast, and everything falls into place. And if you're fortunate enough that happens in your coaching career, you're pretty lucky. But what is really being scratched and engraved, through our season? What happens when trials come, chaos comes? What do we really learn? At the end of the season, what have we really learned? What are we going away with as a team? Did we persevere and finish to the end? Were we a team that never quit? Or when we got down, we quit? Are we a team that blames and points fingers in the locker room? Or are we a team that loves and cares and trusts? Are we a team that mentally was tough and played smart and made great decisions? Were we a team that played hard all the time? We were disciplined. We were ones of excellence. We persevered. We were consistent. We showed initiative. What is being scratched and engraved in your team each season? And it's happening. Good or bad. Character is being developed in us all the time in our lives. And how does character benefit the player? Well, here's what it simply comes down to. Character plus skills is excellence. Skills minus character is mediocrity. You may have some talented, I think we all know some very talented players. Could be speed, size, quickness, but make wrong decisions and end up in the wrong place. You take away the character and the other dimensions, the mental, the social, and the spirit, or the character of a player. We can have great, skilled, talented people, but boy, talent is not enough anymore. And the character really does add to the performance, attitude, and teamwork, and the improvement of what we're looking for in our team and our players. I love this slide. You just put it up and look at it for a minute. Character is good or bad. I could look at the top one and almost be done and, does what's right and does what's easier. But you think over time, if we were to circle one of them that would describe our players, our team, which one is at the left or the right? If we were to go down this list and kind of look over that and think, I only work hard when I'm in the gym or at practice. And you can start to see what character looks like and what we're really looking for as coaches. We believe there's 3 stages to the process of coaching character. Number 1 is what must be established, that you have to believe in the importance of character. And I think we all do. We know character is important. We know it's significant. We know it's something that is needed today in our culture, our society, and our team. That it has to be established in our mind, that we really, really believe in it. But you can believe, if you just believe and don't do anything else, it's just something in your head. So what has to be prepared? You've got to begin to be intentional to develop character. Intentional means a plan, calculated. It means not done by accident. That we now have something we're showing, we have the intent to do something about it and develop it. So that second stage is what has to be prepared is, to begin to be intentional to develop character. And the last stage, what needs to be implemented, is you become integrated in coaching character. Integrated means to mix, to join together, combine. So how do I, over time, take these 3 stages in my coaching and start to walk out each stage until it becomes that I develop a complete player? Someone who has the goods. It's why I'm coaching and getting it done. These 3 things. So, as a coach, you can look at those. Yeah, I believe. Are you intentional? What do you do to develop character in your team? Oh, we read a quote at the end of practice. I have a speaker come in once a year. One of the questions we always ask is your character strategy at the same level as your game strategy? How intentional is it? How deep is it? How often is it? How easy and effective is it? And then integrated, it gets to that skills and practice and drills. That I am integrating the character qualities we're talking about each week in my practice, communicating them on the field and court. Kids are hearing the word all week. The CQ, the character quality needed. And when we we've seen this happen with teams, and it's literally changing the environment and culture of teams. So these are the three stages, and, where are you at in that process, Coach? Because, character does matter. And we think that three things that we need to obviously do is you need to believe in the significance of it. You need to begin to plan to develop it, and then combine it with your coaching on a daily basis to make a difference in the lives of those that have been entrusted to you. Each year you get this group of kids that come, and they've been entrusted to you to, to lead them, encourage them, point them on the way to become better players and, more importantly, even better people. What a great responsibility as a coach. What an incredible responsibility. An opportunity we have. But, is this you as a coach that, it does matter to you, and you are doing these three things that are really the three stages of coaching for life. They're spelled out in simplicity. So what we really want to encourage you is, I know in Coaching for Life, we are signing up Character Matter Team, and that you become a Character Matter Team to improve your team's performance, attitude, and teamwork and character this season. We've put together tools and resources for you to make this a reality, because one of the things that's happened is I hear about coaching character, I hear a great speaker, I go to a workshop, I get excited, but most of us walk out the back door where we finish a webinar and we're back to square one and we're on our own. And we all default to what we're comfortable with. And we have come up with practical tools with our character quality curriculum and other stuff for you to become a Character Matters team that help you feel equipped, empowered to really make this happen. I'm working with teams from every level across the country now, and would love to make your team next to make a difference in those that have been entrusted to you. We get back to this at Character Matters because it is the lifeline to the next generation. We have a great opportunity each season to impact those around us, to have a lasting effect and have an enduring influence on those around us in our coaching. Being a coach is an absolute blast. It's one of the greatest things to do. It is fun. It is exciting. It is hard. It is frustrating. It has everything. But boy, there's no greater reward, I think, than knowing that kids have been impacted in that phone call 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now. When one of your players calls you back, and they're not going to call you back and say, Coach, thanks for that three-point stance. Thanks for teaching me how to hit the ball better. It's going to be about the intangibles and what we taught them and what really mattered. So as a coach, we want to encourage you that we have an opportunity to develop characters, coach characters, make an impact on the kids, and let's do that. Let's make a difference. So our number here, website here, you can go find out to become a Character Matters team. We're excited about what we're doing with coaches around the country. We could tell you story after story of coaches that they've been waiting for something to come alongside them and partner with them to make coaching character a reality. That's what we do. If character matters to you, we'll help you make it matter to them. So have an incredible rest of the week. And remember, we are coaching for life and not just a season. Appreciate you being on the webinar and listening to us today. And have a good one, Coach.